Hello, hello, happy Thursday. It's Kimberly here, and welcome to my Inspired Thoughts. I didn't get to be with you last week because I was leading a full day training in Chicago, but I am back home, grateful for that. And speaking of grateful, that is exactly what I felt inspired to talk about today, gratitude. This is something that we could spend a full day talking about because there is such tremendous power in gratitude and practicing gratitude and in understanding what it really means. And when, gratitude is really just about awareness of the positive. Because in any situation you find yourself in, you could pretty much look around and find something negative to focus on, or you could find something positive to focus on. And then our brains kind of frame that situation, that circumstance, that happening, that interaction, whatever it is, as positive or negative. And it can be really challenging because there are some challenging situations, tough situations that will come up, true contrasts that will come up, maybe be it contrast between you and another person, or a scenario playing out in a way that you had not anticipated, or a way that you might determine is disappointing on some level because you had a different expectation set. But nonetheless, in any, oh, hi Jonathan, happy Thursday, my dear. Oh, my day is absolutely wonderful. I'm happy to hear you did some yoga. Awesome. It looks like Megan's here. Hey, Megan. How's Germany? What's the weather like there, Jonathan? Because here it's pretty good. I know it may look a little on the gloomy side. The sun's not quite out yet, but it's still an absolutely gorgeous day. With all the rain we had recently, it is amazing the colors that are starting to pop as the flowers are starting to bloom. They seem brighter than I've ever seen them, which is unbelievable. But back to gratitude, the way our brains frame the situations we're in, it's pretty powerful, because we are, just like you can train the muscles of your body, the actual muscles we use that are attached to our bones, or are supporting our bones, as well as the muscles of our heart, our lungs. Oh, it's rainy and cold. I'm sorry. Stay warm, Jonathan. Maybe that's why you did some yoga. Stay warm. But we can train our brain, and I think sometimes people don't realize that, or don't keep that on the forefront of our experience. And what I've learned over the last several years is that it really does become a natural process to think more positively and to look around for things to be grateful for. It doesn't mean that you don't experience contrast. It doesn't mean that nothing challenging will ever come your way again, and that you won't feel negative emotion. You will, but when you train your brain to look for the positive, then you just bounce back more quickly. And that's a pretty incredible skill to focus on honing in your life, to be able to just improve your life experience. So what happens when we focus on the positive, we use our awareness, we use our attention, we use our focus to be able to look at the positive. It really does, it actually causes neurons to fire and create new neuropathways. And so positive reframing can be incredibly powerful. And so you could think of gratitude as, something that you set time aside for every day, gratitude practice. A lot of people write in a journal, or now there's an app for that, of course. There are tons of gratitude apps where you can, make note of things you're grateful for. And I think that's a great thing to do. It's a wonderful thing to do, incredibly powerful, to make sure, every morning, every evening, you're thinking about things that you're grateful for, and I certainly do that. But what I found to be even more powerful is just to start to train myself on a daily basis throughout the day to catch myself if I start maybe going to the negative a bit. From the simplest of things, stuck in traffic, or running late for something, or a to-do list that feels too long to get accomplished today, or a doctor's appointment that I wish I didn't have to go to. Whatever the case may be, there's always a positive spin you can put on it. So I'm stuck in traffic. I'm stuck in traffic. but I have a car, and most people on this planet don't have transportation in the way that many of us take for granted. And so I'm going to take this time, I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm going to put on, a favorite podcast or my favorite radio station, or I'm going to sing, or I'm well known out there for car dancing. Yeah, it's real. It's real. And it's not pretty, but I don't care. The dashboard makes for great drums. So is the steering wheel. But, so there's that. And then if there's like a to-do list, like I found myself yesterday thinking, oh, I'm so tired, but I still need to get to the grocery store. I just kind of want to go home and rest a bit, meditate before I do my coaching calls. But we've been gone for several days. We were in Chicago from Wednesday to Sunday. And then I have something else to tell you about that I'm super grateful for. But Tyler and I spent a couple of days playing. So I was away from home, and I'm like, I've got to go to the grocery store. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I literally sat in the parking lot like, I don't feel like doing this. I really don't feel like doing this. I just want to pop over to Starbucks and head home. And then and that's how it starts, and then you catch yourself. You just start to train yourself to catch yourself. And I'm like, wait a minute. The fact that I have the ability to just hop out of my car and walk into that big building and put into a basket the things that we need to nourish our bodies for the next several days, what a gift that is. What a phenomenal gift that is. Because a lot of people in this world don't have the ability to hop in their car and run to the grocery store. And so I smack myself, not literally, but I smacked myself with that realization in a good way. And I grabbed my reusable bag. Yes, I remembered my reusable bag. Yes. So I get like some kind of medal for that, I hope. And I went into the store and got what we needed. And it took maybe 15 minutes. And then I popped by my Starbucks and I was home. Plenty of time to still kind of regroup before my work. So there's always a way. And even if, it's something that, is a bit less mundane and something that could be a bit more emotionally charged, I just want to remind you that no matter what situation you find yourself in, whatever you might be going through, whether through yourself in a set of circumstances or maybe a challenging situation with another human being within a relationship, if nothing else, you have an opportunity to move through whatever contrast you're experiencing, and on the other side of it, be stronger, be more loving, be more compassionate, be more understanding, have more of an idea of what it is that does make you happy and what it is you do want in life or out of a relationship. I mean, contrast serves a tremendous purpose, and a lot of times we label it as bad or negative. And if we can flip the script a bit and see within that contrast what we have to be grateful for, whether it is, the fact that I have the ability to do this, I have a car to drive, I have the ability to go to a grocery store, or that I have a lesson I can learn from it, or I can come away from it stronger than before I entered into this circumstance, or this circumstance, sometimes it feels like it comes at us, then we can always shift our perspective. And our awareness, our perspective is what it's really all about. And when you can start to train your brain to shift to more of a positive perspective, those new neural pathways will be formed, and it will become, it's like forming a new habit. And you'll start to realize that on average, instead of your mind automatically going to the negative, which we're wired to do that. We're wired, our brains, and as humans, we are hardwired to kind of avoid the negative and move toward positive, So I get it, but we have such an opportunity to reframe things and to start to intentionally create these new neural pathways and train our brains into the habit of seeking the positive, seeking in any situation, in any circumstance, in any environment, what do I have to be grateful for here? So, looks like Kathy Sue, good message. Thank you, Kathy Sue, I appreciate that. Sherry says, this is so true. It is. It's so true, and I promise you, if you just play with it, what do they say? It's 21 days to make a new habit. I know that's give or take. It's based on the individual. You could form a new habit in a single breath, or it could take 6 months. But let's just say the 21 days is kind of the old adage. So for the next 21 days, just play with it. Just see if you can catch yourself starting to shift to the, oh, bummer, or this isn't great news, or I wish I didn't have to do this, or I wish I didn't have to be here, or I wish I wasn't struggling with this, or whatever the case may be. See if you can just catch yourself, take a step back from it, take a deep breath, and reframe it a bit. See what you may have to either gain from that scenario, what lesson you may have to learn, or within that circumstance, what it is you actually do truly have to be grateful for. Because there's so much power in gratitude beyond the, writing a few things in your journal at the end of the day, which again is phenomenal and a great practice to have, and something that I don't write in a journal. I have about 72 journals that I've started at some point and then I lost track of and got distracted and everything. But I do have it a part of my presence practice at the end of the day to think about the things that I have to be grateful for today. But what I've trained myself to do that I found even more powerful is throughout the day, always being on the lookout for what I have to be grateful for in every situation. Yes, Kelly, mindset is always a choice. This is all a choice. Your perspective, the perspective that you put on the forefront of any situation you will ever find yourself in, it is always a choice. And sometimes we just have to remind ourselves of that. We have to catch ourselves making the choice that often feels like it's not a choice because it happens so quickly. It's such a habit. It's such on a subconscious level. We have to catch ourselves and make a different choice. So I encourage you not only to have a daily gratitude practice, because that is incredibly powerful, but to make your life a practice of gratitude throughout the day. When it's mundane and you're just moving through the day, be grateful for it. There's a difference between driving past a garden and stopping to walk through it. The present moment is the same way. You can drive right by it because you're in such a hurry to get to the next thing, or you can look around for things to appreciate. And so let that be part of your practice to start to fire those new neural pathways, to have a more positive mindset, and to be triggered less by what contrasts may bubble up in your life. And you'll notice that even if you do get knocked down by that contrast, you will pop up much faster and of course stronger, more compassionate, more loving, more understanding. And that is a pretty amazing gift this life has to offer us. So with that, I will send you off on your day. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the morning with my little guy, Tyler. We just spent 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, at the Great Wolf Lodge, an amazing resort here in Southern California. I know there's a few throughout the U.S. It's fun. Indoor water park, Magic Quest. It's like this digital scavenger hunt. So much fun to be had, so much to be grateful for, not the least of which is just time with my little boy. So I'm going to go get some more of that, and I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, realizing just how much you have to appreciate, to be thankful for, and let that continue to empower you to enjoy your life. So, sending you much love until our paths cross again. Take care.